Okay, so 89 Ford Super Duty, 7.3 liter naturally aspirated power steering pump. It's not working worth a damn. It cuts in and out. My steering is stiff, then it's easy, then it's stiff, and more often it's stiff right now than it's easy. So I ordered a new Cardone power steering pump. The tape's already popped, and there's a piece sticking out the shaft is sticking out the box, and none of that's a big deal to me, but you know, it's kind of crappy packaging. There's one little piece of styrofoam in there on the back, nothing on the front. It doesn't look exactly the same, does it? So this one has a vacuum line on it, and this one doesn't. Interesting. That's disappointing because I was going to change that here now. And I'm not sure. That must be some kind of return line. It's not a vacuum line, that's a return line for the power steering. Overflow, I guess. This one does not have that. And I guess the option is to change out the reservoir. But I really didn't want to do that. Huh. Well. Okay. We'll take a little look at this, see what we're going to decide what we're going to do, and we'll get back to you. But obviously, I made a mistake when ordering this. I didn't ensure it had, because I mean, there's your low pressure and there's your high pressure. There's a cap on the top. You got to use your dipstick. There's just a cap here, but there's no return line. Okay, I'll decide what I'm going to do and I'll get right back to you. But I did want to change this here because, you know, maybe it'll leak because, you know, the reservoir is changeable. I've done one years ago, but anyway, I'll decide what I'm going to do and we'll get back to you. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, so in order to remove this power steering pump, you have to first release the adjustment bolt down here, loosen it a little bit so that'll take the tension off the pulleys. Then you have to take a 1, 2, and down underneath there. There's a third one right down underneath this here. You can see that down there. It's down there. 3. But before you take those off, you should take off, loosen this line, your high pressure line, and take this line off. And then just take off your bottom line when you have it all off, and it's up, because it'll start to leak, and have a container to put it in because it'll be gross. So in order to do this, you need a 15/16 and a 5/8. The 15/16 will hold this nut, and the 5/8 will loosen this one on your high pressure line. There's a little O-ring under here you're probably going to have to change. And you'll need a set of pliers to pop off this clamp, and down underneath on this one here, there's a was a clamp like this originally from the factory, but now there's a hose clamp, so you need a flat screwdriver. Okay, so we'll just pop that off, and yeah, so we got a time lapse running there. We'll see how that works. Okay, I just knocked it off and brought it in here. I was having a bit of trouble with the bottom bolt. So this one right here, I know, right here. So I just brought it in here to knock this bracket off, and then we'll swap it out. The pulley is a press fit. You'll need I think this is $17 on Amazon. It's not a lot of money. So you'll need a puller, and you'll need to press it back on as well. Like, so this is threaded inside. So you have to pull it off, and then you'll have to press it back on. Okay, so I finally got it off. The puller is very hot. I had to heat this 2 or 3 times to quench it, heat it, quench it, and it was on there good. So anyway, the cheap Chinese Amazon kit got it off. I don't know how many of those it'll want to do. Um, quick tutorial. This is hot, but this goes on here. Oop, it's too hot. This goes on here first. You've got a lip here. Then these 2 half moons go around the lip and around this lip, and then this sleeve goes down over to hold them in place tight. So when it's sitting on the machine, it's too hot to handle. It will look something like this goes inside there, and then this goes down over to hold it in place around this clip. I'll do it after when it's cold, because right now it's just too hot. I'll go quench it. So now, because I need this pipe here on mine, I'm going to change these 2 housings. You have to take out the pressure regulator to pop the housing off on both of them. Then I'll take this housing, put it on there, put that new pressure regulator back in, and hopefully that's all caught on the time lapse. So it's a, what is this? 15, 16, 24 millimeter. Seems to fit good. Okay. Okay, I'm running out of rags. I'm using paper towel here, which I hate to use, but anyway. So, pressure relief valve out of the old one, pressure relief valve out of the new one. This one will go back in the new one, just as it is. Put it back in as you take it out. Leave the new O-ring on the new case. And, of course, these just pull off. And so, we'll just put this back on. I gave this a little wash. I'm out of Varisol too, so I'm using gasoline. So, if you're doing that kind of thing, don't light any matches. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to have matches around this anyway. Then again, I'm here with torches going, so what are you going to do? Have a fire extinguisher handy, I guess. Okay, so we're back out here. I'm trying to still do the time lapse. I don't know how that's turning out. We'll see. So it's a little dirty down there, but I don't have anything to clean it with right now. I don't have any brake cleaner. I have a pressure washer here, so I guess that's my anti-rust agent right now. I'm missing a clamp. Okay, I'll have to find that bad boy. But okay, so just install reverse order. There is a little O-ring that comes with the pump in the kit for right here, and you really should change it. So I had a neighbor come over and forgot to turn off my Osmo, so I don't know if I got the complete time lapse of it, but so we got the thing back in place, about 1 inch deflection, on the belts, not cinched tight. Got to put this back in here now, and gotta be a little bit careful putting that back in. And should be a 5/8. Okay, and that's got a new O-ring on it for the high pressure line. So just tighten that back in. Now I had to change out I ordered the pump here and I made a mistake, or I think I made a mistake, because I've got the 88 model and I think the 88 Super Duty, and before had the 3, had to return high pressure and this it's like a let off release line from the steering valve. So because this doesn't have a this is for the power assist steering line. Okay, the name is eluding me right now. I'll put it up on screen when I remember it. And so you just put this in here. This goes in here snug, but not, don't wrench it down until you break it off. Then this bad boy goes back in here. I'm going to cut that off here. So cut that off, give that a clean end, and clamp that down in there. And so I hope that the video shows me having to change this housing out, because this pump came with the wrong housing. So, and I think that was my fault. So got some power steering fluid here. Power steering fluid that came out of here was pretty ratty. I'm not sure why, really, because I kept adding to it. And you gotta be careful. You can overfill this real easy. The level is actually quite a ways down there, down the pipe on this. So it's on the bottom there now, but we'll run it up and we'll check it after. And so that's how you do it. I'll fire it up, get all the tools off of here, fired it up so nothing falls on the ground, and we'll be back in a minute and I'll let you know how it's working. So the pump is installed and it works great. You can turn it with one finger, but I have a pretty bad power steering pump whine, so I'll give it a couple of days to see if I can bleed the air out of it. Usually the whining noise is caused by air in the pump, and there is air bubbles forming in the pump. So if it doesn't go away in a few days or a day of driving, there might be something wrong with that reman, because I've turned it back and forth 5 or 6 times and it's not gone away yet. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, pump's on and I can steer it now, so that's good. At least that's good anyway. We'll see how this reman holds up. If it doesn't, I'll let you know.